had been shaken and had both of her legs broken 2 places. And I said, absolutely, I'd love to foster a baby. I'd had older kids as foster children originally. So I got this darling little baby, and when I started learning about her story, I found out that someone had called CPS to say that there's something wrong with this baby. I don't know what, but somebody needs to check on this baby because there's something that's not right. Her bottles were rancid. They were filthy when she'd get to daycare. Her biological mother and father were teenagers, and they took her to high school to the daycare when they were going to school. And I always knew someone from the high school had made that first phone call to CPS to say, you need to check on this baby because something's not right. So CPS did in fact come out. They took this little baby to a hospital and did a head-to-toe exam on her and found her to have both of her legs broken in 2 places, and she was removed from the home. I never knew who had made that phone call, but clearly it saved her life because her injuries were more than once. They were healing in different phases. So this wasn't just a one-time thing where someone had lost their patience. This had been occurring maybe for the whole 2 months. So the person that made the phone call didn't know what had happened. They just knew in their gut something wasn't right, and they stood up and became a hero for a child. And this is the little baby, obviously. And in joining KPAC in the Speakers Bureau, speaking in front of people is the worst thing for me. But because I'm passionate about it, it makes it a little bit easier. So I was giving the presentations, and I wanted to go back to the high schools and give the presentations there, kind of as a full circle thing, since that's kind of where my journey in the coalition began. And so I talked with Kim, and Kim is the director of all the high school daycare programs in Chandler. And she allowed me to come speak to the supervisors and give my presentation, kind of vet the program so they knew who would be appropriate to see the program. And I'm giving the program to these ladies here in this 3rd row, and one of them said, well, I wasn't the one who called, I didn't make the phone call. And she kind of went around the table, and there was one gal that had her back to me, and as she turned around, she was bawling, and she said, I was the one who made the phone call, and I never knew I would ever meet that person who saved my daughter's life. And so today we get to honor her for saving her life, because when we're shaking, she may not have been here. And her name is Lauren, and Lauren did not know that these things were going on, but she followed her gut, and that simple phone call saved this beautiful little girl's life. And I am lucky to be her mommy. And she would like to present this to Lauren today. Lauren, come on up. Saying that she made a difference in a child's life, and that simple phone call kind of changed course for everything. And in getting this beautiful little girl, I also ended up getting a beautiful little boy who is back there. He is, this is Rylee, and you want to come up and say something? And Asher is Riley's brother, so I ended up getting a 2-for-1. He was a surprise 2 years later. And so I got both of these beautiful children because of the one phone call that this woman did. So for us, she is our hero for sure.